Hello, everybody. Welcome back to part 2 of Best Star Trek References in Lower Decks, Episode 5. An Embarrassment of Duplers. This is part 2, so you can either watch this one and go watch part 1, or go watch part 1 and then come watch this one.
Or both at the same time and see where we sound cleverer.
But anyway, I'm Captain Foley. I didn't introduce myself.
And I'm Connor Kongs, and this episode is filled to the brim because they're at a space station, an old space station, which just has Trek life living. They go through parts of the station, they go through a spaceport element just every day, and it is absolutely crammed. But it doesn't feel like it's crammed with references, but when you stop and find frames and then put them together, you realise, oh damn, it's just using the universe, and it's a marvel, really. When you, the fact we did 2 parts with 4 slides is amazing. So we're on 1 and 2. This is slide 3, Stuart, and it is in chronological order. So we've only just got to the party.
We're just finishing up the chase scene as well, because we got the Vulcan ship there in the hangar, which is a ring ship, and you get to see the Vulcans on there, of course. It's find it fascinating that 2 cars just sped through their ship. It's very similar to some of the ships we see in Enterprise. However, it is different enough that it looks like a newer kind of take on them.
I really like they've just watched an episode of Enterprise and said, well, this is the art design of the Vulcans, let's do a new version, which is how you're meant to do it. And this ship, yeah, it looks like a Trekyard, but it's not a Trekyard. It's different enough, and I might be tempted to get someone to build this for me for a fan film, because it looks a perfectly plausible updated version. I mean, they're already so sleek. It's not as if you can get sleeker. Let's be honest, it's just a different modern design. Yeah, it's great, and you know, Eaglemoss make it. It's cool. Next to him, though, you've got a green toad frog beard creature, which I just took as a green toad beard frog monster and didn't think anything of it. And then you dropped a mic on me. Yes,
it's actually an animated series.
Of course he is!
Alien.
Goddamn.
From the episode The Jihad. And we've got, that's his name there, EM/3/green. That's their species. So, and interestingly enough, sentient beings with 6 arms and 2 legs, his people were characterized by caution to the point of cowardice, which is interesting because he's playing a bouncer, but at the same time he goes over and talks to Mariner about how she's feeling kind of left out and whatever. So I thought that was funny that he actually did that. So great reference there. And bonus fact, in the episode The Jihad, it was the character was actually voiced by David Gerald.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
The writer.
So, yeah.
Sweet.
So there you go.
And that's, I mean, I'm sure that flew over 90% of our audience's head. So they did for me. So amazing. Good job. But next to him there on the right, I'm sure everyone recognises the squid people from...
Antedicans from
TNG.
Antedians? Yeah, I forget. Yeah, something like that.
Well, obviously, they're not people.
But they're not people.
Yeah. It's actually an interesting episode of TNG, and again, I said this in part 1, they can include things because animated that you wouldn't want to do in live action, because A, the makeup people would feel the need to massively redesign it to be modern, and it'd be very expensive. Whereas here we can have a fully faithful, fully accurate, very cheap and easy to produce alien that's like, well, there you go. Back in canon, they clearly have warp drive, they're clearly on a station. Brilliant.
Yeah, and then we got the dress uniforms, both styles. We got the capital ship versions, as we're very familiar with, and then we got the lower decks, or the Cerritos styled dress uniforms, which both look really nice, actually.
And this was a great mic drop moment for me during our live, because I don't think anyone really noticed they're the different uniforms, because I don't know if you did in the first watch.
I did. Yeah, I did.
Okay, I was just like, well, they're just wearing stuff. But not only are they the different badges to represent the correct Voyager and then the custom ones, but yeah, they're different versions, which shows, yeah, you know, everything is all together. They aren't replacing the uniforms, it's just the lower end and the high end, which makes sense. I mean, there's thousands of ships in the fleet, and not everything can be a pride of fleet. Even to the point of having these, you know, weird-looking boots, which are silly, but they're not retconning them back into the Nemesis uniform, the Insurrection. It's all part of a grand universe. But then it makes them trying to get into the party even sillier, because they're the only ones in those uniforms, because no one else can be from a lower end ship at this party. So obviously they're going to stand out. You would think they'd know that and replicate a better uniform. But great nod. Speaking of nods, though, next second row first. TOS computer. Love a bit of TOS blinkies.
Then we get which I thought in the next time on, or this season, I thought this might have been Boothby, but we just get an old gardener who accepts his fate, I guess.
I made a joke that his job is to literally shovel bird poop.
Yeah, and break feathers, human-sized animal feathers.
It's funny, and I mean, this does feel to me like the same outfit he wore in an episode, so a nice reference. Then you've got the Akonda.
Acuna. Yes, the outrageous Acuna, yeah. Who's not even in Starfleet, but he's at the party because he's DJing, and that's outrageous. Come on. The fact you said that's outrageous, that was hilarious. Boom, mic drop.
And you don't notice it unless you really, really know. And then you're like, ah.
And of course, he was played by Billy Campbell in the TNG episodes. So.
And they did say he was in this season. Like, the actor, like, spoiled it, revealed it, but, I mean, he doesn't say anything. So...
Well, we speculated he might come back for the end of the season to DJ something on the Cerritos, maybe, and have a line or two.
Why not? Why not? But yeah, it's exactly his clothing and look from TNG, with the same damn box for some reason. There's an eye patch, so I guess he lost an eye at some point. Bottom left, back to the Vulcans. Yeah, great looking Vulcans. The next that we see the bird people who we saw previously in the background of a season 1 episode, but they got a front of focus, sort of very Family Guy-esque cutaway sketch moment. But these are, again, animated series, aren't they, Stuart?
Yeah, they're actually from the same episode as the other guy, the Jihad, but they're actually the race called the Score. There's a few of them in this episode, actually.
Well, they're in the Aviary.
One was a grey one. Yeah, I think there's one outside the Aviary as well, maybe.
And obviously, welcome to Starfleet. More just a sense of, look, there's cool banners and feels very appropriate and neat. And the last two on the right, you can handle the lady, I'll handle the gent. Boy, what a... We're just going to throw us in here and walk away. It's like, what?
Yeah, of course, we've got Shelby on the left there. Commander Shelby from Best of Both Worlds is now promoted to captain. And she's still looking fine, I gotta say. And, yeah, next to her is her number one. And that's where my number one takes over.
Yeah, confirmed Shelby canon. I mean, obviously she'd be a captain. But, boom, there she is. And obviously on a higher, at least matching Riker's level of ship, if not higher. Although she wouldn't be in the party.
It's good to know she survived the Dominion War, let's put it that way. Because she would have probably been in the thick of it somewhere.
Yeah, very fair, actually. So I didn't even, consider that. Also, it'd be nice to have a cameo voice from her. Maybe she'll put, I mean, now she's here. They don't show that many people in real life, like Lower Decks real life. They reference in posters or, to actually show them in physical modern day. Maybe they'll come back as a point, I think you joked on a previous episode, maybe she'll come and save Riker at the end of season 2. Like Titan came and saved Cerritos in season 1.
Yeah. I would love to see their chemistry now, because now they're both captains. When they were commanders, they're very contentious, but they're fighting for the same spot, so it'll be interesting to see the dynamic now.
I don't doubt for a second she'll captain first, because she was actually going for captain first. I mean, Riker wasn't captain for a lot of years after they met, like a good 10 or 12 years. And yes, she was just new promoted to commander, but she was like on that warpath. But obviously he can always say, I was offered captain 6 times before you were even commander. But she's like, yeah, but I got captain first. But the alien next to her, you're all forgiven for not recognising, because it's a Discovery alien, which is the first Discovery reference. But because it didn't make it onto Discovery, it's not actually a Discovery reference, because it's not Discovery canon. So it's an unused concept alien for Saru, the original one. They got as far as a full body prosthetic makeup in costume, which kind of is a fun costume. There's a story about that because it's like a different costume. Then they were going to replace the eyes with CG. It was going to be like to give it more motion, but it was deemed too expensive and too elaborate, and so they designed Saru as instead. Once they changed production team from in-house team to when they outsourced and they did everything else. But a great looking alien. He looked fantastic in the makeup tests, and they got. I saw them beforehand, but they got leaked and then released after. So they've canonized a Discovery era never used alien, alternate Saru. Wow,
that's fantastic. That's it. Now we have the possibility of concepts that have been unused coming in this show, maybe even ships and such. So I mean, that's opens up quite a precedent. So that's awesome.
Speaking of precedent, though, now we're in the bar, and this one I was very keen to find every painting and see what's really a reference. As you can see, I've enlarged them and made them clear, and
yeah, there's some good ones here.
I think there's a running theme here, Stuart, in this, let's not say dive bar, but fun bar. What can you tell the theme is when you actually show what's on the walls?
TOS and the animated series.
Yes. Which kind of, maybe when Kirk became famous, he liked this bar and brought things for them. I don't know, because they're all TOS, they're all Kirk's adventures, and if Kirk's made such a point of, I guess they're connected. I include both the model shots, but it's almost exclusively TOS. But I mean, what stands out here, Stuart? Because it's such a statement of TOS love.
Honestly, on first viewing, there was like the Enterprise at warp there, or the Constitution class at warp, and the Phoenix, obviously. And then the pan out, you got the Guardian of Forever and the Doomsday Machine. Those were the big standouts. It was hard to see a lot of the paintings and stuff, but you have to freeze frame and look, and you can see some really cool stuff. So let's just start at the top left there, and go across.
People have said this is probably Zephyr and Cochrane's jukebox or replica of, which I buy completely. Given there's a Phoenix, I mean, would make sense.
Next up, we got Balak from the Corbinite Maneuver. There you go. That's it. And he was in the credits of every TOS episode. So yeah,
I both have pictures of them. Next to that is when Kirk fought that lady. Don't remember
the Gamesters of Triskelion.
There we go. Isn't that the Quatloos episode?
Yeah. 400 Quatloos on the newcomers.
Yes, the talking ball head things. And then
they were brains. They were brains.
Then you got
different colored brains.
Then you've got Kirk on the Defiant, which recanonized the spacesuit. Lovely.
Then you got the Friday's Child aliens, the ones that McCoy lived on their planet for a while.
Not happy people.
Very warlike. Yeah.
You got a Horta, I assume.
Yes, from Double in the Dark.
Looks good.
Then we got Emrys from the animated series, so a Cetacean. Nice.
And in the animated style too of the animated series. So not this style, but their style, which goes same for the other alien as well. But then next to that, you got Salt Vampire, which I've used several times. A gem of a TOS alien.
Then, of course, on the left-hand side again, we got the Guardian of Forever behind the bar.
Which does change how it's drawn throughout the shots, but this particular one is very faithful. Sometimes it's more spherical rather than, like, this style. So that's actually a very accurate one. But this adds the confusion of, so it's not a secret? Because we assumed it got classified,
Good point.
Some random bar has a pretty exact version of it.
That's a good point.
I guess Kirk brought her a souvenir at one point, and it's like, don't tell people what this is. And everyone's like, what's that? It's nothing. Art installation.
And next to that, we got Rook from What Are Little Girls Made Of? What Little Girls Are Made Of. I think that's the name of the episode.
And then clearly it's that. The TOS Enterprise.
In orbit of a red planet.
Beautiful.
Then we got from Let This Be Your Last Battlefield, the half black, half white alien. I forget the species name, but there you go.
You got animated series alien that was replacing Chekhov, I guess.
Lieutenant Eric's. Yeah, the three-armed, three-legged alien. Then we've got Who Mourns for Adonis. We got Apollo there beside his temple.
And look how much detail they put into this, guys. I mean, this is all background stuff that's barely visible. These are all detailed pictures. Amazing. Next, that was the Phoenix. Back to the left. Beautiful. It's actually a little bit too stout, but I'll forgive him. To the right of that, I'm not sure who it's meant to be. I recognise it, but I can't place it. But given almost everything as a reference, I find it unlikely he's not an alien from one of the shows.
Yeah, I can't place him or the alien beside him.
Oh, I know the one behind him, but I think he's a DS9 one. Given because a lot of this is just a lot of these are stills from episodes they've like done an animated version of. I think he's like a DS9 bar patron.
Yeah, I think so too.
But next to him, though,
who's the next guy?
He's from Voyager, which is weird because everything is TOS. And except behind Mariner and Boimler, you've got the Solar Sailor, Voyager, and this guy. Everything else is TOS, so it's kind of odd why those. He was the Delta Quadrant alien that fobbed and got Alice to the guys. He was the seller who then traded the thing back, and then so that's a help. How does this lady know about a Delta Quadrant race exclusively? I guess.
Dun, dun, dun.
I guess Tom Paris drank here and then told them about the one time I got addicted to a spaceship, and then here's a picture of the guy that sold it to me for your wall, and she's like, "What?"
Thanks. He's drinking a drink, so we're gonna put it on the wall.
It's a great alien makeup though. I always quite liked that as a design. But yeah, random, cool.
We got the Enterprise or the Connie at warp that I noticed right away, obviously, and underneath that we've got the Mud's Women. So.
And that's one that stands out very much as like a trace from the show. That's like a classic moment. Next to that on the top we've got the Solutions, exactly from the show. Looks great. Don't know who the bottom below them is. I
don't know either. Looks familiar though.
And it was also a low resolution version. I'm The only thing that jumps to mind is that Klingon dude at Ruapenthe.
Yeah, it's not him though. You can tell by the cloak, but that high collar is familiar.
Yeah, but next to
Let
that,
us know in the comments, guys.
it's got to be something, right? Next to that, you got a solar sailor, the solar sailor, and the Voyager. Beautiful, weird, beautiful.
And then, of course, one of my favorite things, the Quark model kits of the Cerritos and Deep Space Nine with Jadzia and Ezri. Comes complete. So there you go.
Now, I really hope we're going to see them building the DS9 miniature other episodes, because what a great way of having references, but just there. But it was great. It's such an unnecessary detail, but they have different branding. Both Quarks. I mean, I would assume the DS9 one's older because it's been around for 15 years and Cerritos is but I don't know. Or is it maybe the one of the specialist branch, one's the whatever, one maybe that's the non-Starfleet branding, given it's a Cardassian station, but it's a deliberate choice. Like, it wasn't enough just to make box art. They had to make two different ones for different things. Now we need to go into one of the Quark stores and see all the different branded and see, like, all the things they're selling, and that'd be amazing.
Of course, beside that, you got the Doomsday Machine on the wall.
And this intrigues me, as I said in our live, because this isn't the remastered version, which theoretically replaces the TOS design as the primary canon. This is the TOS original one. So is this canon? Not the remastered? It's beautiful. I mean, that's how we all associate the version looking, and the tweaked version for the remastered. Beautiful. Great representation.
Mm-hmm. And of course, beside that, we got the Kirk and Spock etching into the bar. And then there's one behind the bartender, kind of beside the doors going back to the kitchen, I assume, and it looks like a newly styled ship of TOS vintage. It could be a Constitution class, but the way those engines sit and the way that they're kind of got straight struts going down like this doesn't look like it. So it could be a new design of some sort. I think that's quite an interesting call out, and I really like that one. So I'd like to know if it's a new ship. I don't know why they would necessarily do that, considering their history, but
yeah. Either one. Look at the solar sail, it's distorted. It could be either it's such a small on the side. Don't know. But it's a great shout out, and I didn't mention it the first time round. But there you go, Stuart. A double bill, clearly worth it. We're not sure if it'd be fully worth it, but I think yes. 2 parts, because they just threw in so much, and so much recanonizing old things, so much bringing elements of the old universe to say, yes, these things still around, they're still part of Federation, etc. Fantastic, well done, and go back and watch part 1. And join our live, or watch our live when we go through them and see what the fans think. And support us if you can to see more of these videos on Patreon if you can, on PayPal if you can. All those links down below. So just click on that and you'll see like so many great ways. Please and thank you.
That's right. And like the video, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell icon to all, and comment down below if we missed anything. I'm just scrolling through now. I found one more, but that's okay. The people staying to the end of the video know that on the left-hand side of that same wall, right above the jukebox, there's an Andorian lady in TOS uniform with a white ponytail as well. Just wanted to point that out. So anyway, guys, if we missed anything, join us for our live so you can yell at us, and we will try to cover everything for that. So anyway, that's it for now. I'm Captain Foley.
I'm Connor.
See you later.
Bye, guys.